Well, howdy there, y'all. Yamasaki here. Welcome back to the channel. And today, we're finally going to take a look at the old 1930 Oakland Model 101 sedan. So let's go check it out. Now, before we actually get into the review, I'm actually going to tell you the backstory of this old car. It all began probably around 1930, I would say. From what my dad told me is that my or maybe just my great-grandfather, helped one of the fellow ranch hands on the family ranch buy this car. Some years later, that ranch hand died, and there was an estate sale, and my grandpa actually found this car at an auction and bought it. And I guess at the time it needed engine work. What kind of engine work? I have no idea. Fast forward some 40-50 years later, my dad and I now have this car sitting out in our backyard. And it's pretty rusty and crusty, but this is the car that V8 engine would power. Now, I know I can't show you a lot of it because I've since covered it in the past few years to try and preserve what's left of it. I've got this nice heavy-duty waterproof canvas tarp on top of it, and then this one is going to go over that one. It blew off from the wind, of course. But, you know, most people would look at this and they would be like, well, it's nothing but a pile of scrap metal. Probably should just scrap it or whatever else. But to me, the way I see it, there's almost a complete car here. It's missing a running board, but that was made of oak, so that's since gone away. All the doors are there, all the locks, even the front blinkers. The roof is since gone. It was made of cloth, so that deteriorated a long time ago. It's got the old artillery wood spoke wheels with some badass looking off-road treads. There's a little bit of damage on the fenders, but that is not bad rust at all. That can be sanded, grinded, and welded back into place. This fender looks fairly good. It's got the rear bumpers. I don't think we have the fronts. This one kind of got dinged up. Nice big dent there. Another dent here. But I think that can be hammered out with some time. And a little bit more damage right here in the inner fender and body. You can actually see there is the main rear sill that attaches to the body. I'm not entirely sure what the original color of this car was, but it kind of looks like a mix between maybe black, dark blue, and a shiny metallic gray. But I have no idea. Here's one of the trim pieces that goes above the doors. That fell off a couple years ago, so the wood is fastly deteriorating. It's going to need to get into the garage one of these days if it's going to be saved. Some minor wear and tear on the fender there. Interesting how they tried to repair this stuff back in the day. You can see that looks like a bracket, almost. These are priceless, these front blinkers, and they did have glass at one point. And you might be wondering what happened to that glass. Well, when I was a kid, I decided to bust all of the glass on these and on some of the Toyota pickups, the headlights and stuff like that. I was kind of a crazy kid. This is where your light bar would go, cross on each fender and mount to it. And then underneath, there's a fender brace right there that is supposed to hold the fender in place. It's not attached. Moving into the engine bay, here is one of the latches for the hood. And it actually still turns, look at that. Got the motor mounts. There's the bell housing. Let me see if I can move this tarp a little bit more. Hang on, guys, real quick. Alright, so that's the best I could do to get it here, but you can see, don't know what these plates are. No idea. Here's the muffler. Here's your steering column. Here's part of the running board with the trim, and that would go on that side. Get in here a little closer. Here's the bell housing, and that's good to see. We still have our fork, so there's our throw-out bearing. What in the world is that? I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't know what in the world is mounted on top of that thing. But you've got, I don't know what this is. This would probably be the gas pedal. And then one of these would be the clutch, gas, maybe brake. And up top we got a couple other spots for things, miscellaneous wires. It's even got the original wires. Oh, it looks like some sort of a fitting of some sort. And the tarp just fell back on me. It's a lot of rivets. It's just, it amazes me how they built this stuff back in the day. That's why I just love old technology. I love reviewing it. I love working on it, because all the knowledge has pretty much been lost to time, and we as modern folk have to figure out how they built them and redo those techniques, and it can get pretty tricky. I am going to go ahead and open up the door. It is kind of tricky, not with this tarp, but the one below it, because it's got another one underneath it, and that one kind of gets snagged on the door. I think the door actually did this damage here, so it'll be alright. So hang on just a wee second. Alright, so I managed to get the door open. You can see that all these doors have wood framework in them. This entire car was built by Fisher by Body, which was bought out by General Motors back in the day. And they originally built carriages for horses, so a lot of the old techniques for building automobiles back in the day came from building horse coaches and wagons and such. But you got all this trim here, got a wood plank up here. Guarantee you there's a wood plank in here. Yep, right there. Another one there. I don't know what kind of material they used back in the day, but it was pretty stuff. Old rolled down window, and the window still works amazingly well. All this trim work. You got wood flooring. You step up in here. Your pillars. There's the top. It's got a manual operated windshield wiper. It's pretty wore out in here. It really is. But given time, it can be rebuilt. I don't know what part that is. That might be another manifold, intake manifold or exhaust manifold. You can see all the spring work and the upholstery. It's pretty amazing stuff. It even had a dome light back in the day. The switch is right there. See if I can zoom in on that. It had a switch and it had a dome light, which I thought was just freaking awesome. This was a state-of-the-art car in 1930. It was amazing. And then those rear windows back there, they have little curtains. They've also got their own little roll-down mechanism, which I thought was absolutely unique. Now, I always wondered, okay, these cross members going across, not laterally or horizontally, they're metal. They're metal, which I never knew. But it is in rough shape, and it will take time to restore. Holy moly. So you got more cross bracing. You got your bows, which go across. There's your transmission, 3-speed. And it still moves. it still shifts into gear and all that, amazingly. I don't know what all these are. That must be for the lights. Frozen shut. Originally this car only had 5,621 miles on it. You got your amp and your oil pressure. One of them's for choke, the other one looks like for high beam. And the cool thing about this car is too, like on the old Chevy Square 10 square bodies, it's got these little vents for your air circulation. You did not have any heat, you did not have any air, you had nothing. Absolutely nothing but your windows. So that was a cool little unique feature. There's another one down over there. Yeah. Pretty cool stuff. So that's pretty much all I have to show you for the car wise. There actually is a couple more parts that I've got to show you real quick. Alright, so if we wander on into the old shed here, don't mind the various amounts of old Toyota pickup parts. That's not what we're here for. What we're here for is right here. Here is the other engine block to that old Oakland V8. And that one looks like it doesn't have any of the cams or any, well, it might have the cams. It's still got those plates there. And I was looking for this. I found there's the clutch plate. I need that. There's some more parts. Another intake manifold, an exhaust manifold system. So there's the other engine. Then over here we've got the hood. It's sitting over here in despair. And then right there under that tarp is the radiator. So I was wondering where that clutch plate was, because I was getting worried because I could not find it, but I found it. So that is good. That is good that we have that. Real good. And that right there is pretty much it for this video, guys. I figured you guys wanted to see what the car actually looks like that beastly of an engine goes into. So, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment for more content, and we'll catch you around later. Yamasaki out.